another episode of the eyeBytes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel, and with me, as always, the Chewbacca to my Han Solo, the one, the only, Sajandeep. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Daniel?
Not bad. It's been a while since we've recorded an episode, sadly. Unfortunately, life, as I mentioned before, life tends to creep up and keep us busy. And you were with school, I had work, so we haven't had a chance to sit down and actually record. And because of that, we have like a ton of items to go through. So we might have some items which are a little bit out of date by now, but we thought we'd cover it anyways. But no, other than that, it's been nothing exciting, really. But how about you, man? Have you bought anything, any new toys in your toolbox, or?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff because it was Black Friday, and I kind of decided to buy a couple of things.
Wow!
But also, I finished school. College.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. The funny thing is, I don't even know when I'm actually. Whenever the ceremony is, I'm just hoping that I get the email. So I'm gonna just contact my coordinator to double check when that is.
Yeah.
But anyway, otherwise I'm done school. No more
good.
school stress, and now I'll be focusing more on work, and I'll be able to pump out actual like solo podcasts, like I've been saying a long time that I will do this. I haven't done it in a while.
By the way, I've already got one episode I've done on my own without you there.
Yeah, so you're beating me there, and but yeah, I did buy because it's my brother's birthday this month, and we were having like a party at home, and I kind of bought a DJ mixer thing.
Yeah, I mentioned that. I was like, geez.
And I haven't received it yet, but
don't tell Amazon, you'll be returning it afterwards. Hopefully Jeff Bezos doesn't listen to our podcast. Like, what? He's returning his device after using it only once? We can't have that. I've never done that. I buy stuff and I keep it.
I know I normally do keep it, but
Sure.
it's kind of expensive.
Dude, it's $250. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I know, but it's not that bad. But it depends. Maybe
Dude, you spend a lot of money on a computer and a monitor. I'm sure you can afford a measly little $200 for a DJ console.
I'm sure, but the thing is, if you're not going to use it as often, but it depends on how much I use it,
You
right?
can start your own DJing business and start popping up some jams. I don't know, just an idea. Just letting you know.
That's true. I'm gonna just as we're talking, just pull up my Amazon recent order list.
I've avoided buying stuff because it's getting expensive nowadays.
It is definitely is. I've bought a Amazon Echo Show 8th generation from the regular price of $100. It was all for $44.
You're saying you're having issues with it and you're sending it back, or?
No, for some bizarre reason, if anyone knows, guys, leave us a comment. It will really help me out.
Yeah.
I have a
send us an email at eyebytespodcast@gmail.com if you have any. Also, curious to know what you guys bought Black Friday as well. Just send us an email at eyebytespodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. But go ahead with your issue, and then hopefully somebody will have a solution.
Yeah, so I have Lorax cameras are in my house, and there's the ability to ask. I'm gonna mute it over here quickly before I say her name.
Just say Alyosha. That's what I knew.
Alyosha. Okay, yeah. So I have Alyosha. So because the Echo Show allows me, because it has a screen, it allows me to view the cameras. Whenever I ask it to show me the backyard camera or the porch camera, whatever, it just tries and it says the camera's not available.
Okay.
Even though it's online, I've linked it, I delinked it, or I've unlinked it, and I've relinked it and everything. No issue. Same issue. So Amazon has sent me a new one. It says send the old one back. I haven't set the other one up yet. So I hope maybe there's a problem with the hardware, but I don't really think it's a problem with the hardware. But I think I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure if someone can help me out. That'll be amazing. And that's about it. I mean, actually, I bought.
Well, that's everything you bought there, but
I think that's about it, actually.
I've avoided Amazon as much as I can because I'm still recuperating from buying the laptop. And actually, for the first time ever, we're recording this using my new laptop, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, how is it? Oh yeah, by the way, I did mention that I did buy the same water bottle that you bought.
Yeah, it's true. I bought it's a Contago. Usually, it's a brand of coffee mugs / water bottles you can get at Costco in Canada. And I usually buy their coffee mugs because for me, I have all my gear on my desk. I got like 2 computers, my mixing board, my boom arms and mics and everything. And I don't want to risk dropping any liquid because I'm blind and clumsy. So I'm more prone to dropping stuff. So I usually buy the sealable mugs and I prefer that over like right now. I actually have my Contago mug right here with water and it's sealed and it keeps it nice and cold. So I'm glad you enjoyed that bottle. I have to admit, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I'm loving this bottle more and more. It works really well. But yeah,
No, it's a good one. It's a good one. I like the fact because I did have a similar one before, where you can like push the back with your index finger and the lip thing opens up and then you can just drink. And then as soon as you put the bottle down, it's always sealed. You don't have to worry about sealing it or there's no extra step. But if you're putting it in a backpack, they recommend make sure don't have liquid just for mishaps. And anyway, it's a good water bottle. I'm glad it was two bottles for $40.
Yeah, that's one thing I like.
Great
when
deal.
you look for those like coffee mugs / water bottles. It's always a pack of 2, or I've seen coffee mugs a pack of 3. But usually those are when you go at Costco in person. But online, it's usually like a pack of 2. I love those. I had like one at the office, and I remember leaving before the pandemic when we actually used to go to the office. I remember leaving my water bottle full of ice before I think I put some like around before about an hour before I left. And I'd leave and I'd forget to put the bottle away or empty it. And I'd come back next morning and the water was still freezing cold. The ice was all gone, but the water was still freezing cold. And I was like over 13 hours away. I'm like, holy crap, this thing kept really cold for a while. So I have to admit, I'm liking, I brought him back home because our office moved to another location. We haven't had a chance to go back to that new location. So I brought all my stuff back home and including my bottles. And I'm glad because I always keep one bottle in the fridge, one bottle ready to drink all the time. So, but yeah, I'm still recuperating from the laptop. So I've got it pretty much all set up. That's the nice thing is I've got most of my apps installed and working. I got a couple of more, which I have to admit, so I bought an Alienware laptop and I had an issue with the command center software that you use. And that software is mainly to use to overclock your CPU, create profiles for different games, and also to control your LED lights. But the problem is the command center software is completely inaccessible for a screen reader. So I had not been able to change the colors of the LED lights. There's some, like the keyboards changes like different colors. There's an alien head in the middle of the monitor that you can change color. And in the back part where all the ports are, the rim around that section is all lit up. But the problem is because the command center software is not accessible, I can't actually change those colors, which kind of suck. And I did call Dell, and Dell was super helpful. Unfortunately, the software to use that they can remote into is not accessible either. So they couldn't even connect to my computer and help me figure out. Because I had an issue where I used the Dell Support Assist software to update my drivers, and it kept popping up the Support Assist, not the support, the Command Center software saying there was an update. And I'm like, okay, well, I kept pushing the update and it kept failing. And then I actually went to the website, tried going there, and then it didn't work either. And that's when I realized that, it's failing to install. It's downloading, but it's not installing. So I actually downloaded the software from there manually, installed it, and Windows was telling me, yeah, it's installed. You got the right version, the newest version. But yet the Support Assist software kept telling me, no, there's an update for this software. And when I looked at it, well, you got currently the previous version installed, and you need to install this newer version. I'm like, well, Windows already has that version installed. So why are you confused? Why do you think I have the older version when I clearly have the newest one? That's why I called Dell. And after a while, I told them, look, you can't connect to my machine. The software is not working. Can you please tell me what Alienware software I can uninstall? I just basically uninstalled the command center. So I actually found another software. I think it's called OpenRGB. I'm not too sure who makes it, but I just did a Google for it. And I found this. A friend of mine actually looked at it. He's like, he actually downloaded it as well. And then there's another software I remember Stephen Scott from Double Tap Canada had mentioned. It's called I don't know if it's Pontes or Pontes, Pontes, and it's a software you can install on your Mac or Windows, and allows you to download YouTube videos directly onto your computer and create a file out of it.
I had that one. I have
I
that.
downloaded it for Windows, so I haven't installed it yet. I still have the OpenRGB and the Ponce Media downloader and downloaded, but I haven't installed them yet. But everything else, I got it pretty much running the way I want it, which is kind of nice. But yeah, that was my big purchase a little while ago. So it's like, after that.
How are you liking it so far, though?
I'm liking it. It's Windows 11 is a bit more different to get used to because my work computer, we're using Windows 10. I think it's 21H2 that we're using. But on this one here, I got Windows 11 22H2, so it's a little bit different, the way you interact with JAWS, but it does work. It's pretty much similar the way I got my Microsoft Office on here as well. And I've got my JAWS installed, NVDA. I use Narrator as well. So I've got all these different screen readers, and I like it. It works really well. And I just mainly use it just for recording, playing games, doing some editing with Reaper as well. So it works really well. And it's not like the most high-end computer, but it is a gaming laptop. So it's got some, pretty good specs on it. But again, I wanted to make sure this thing lasts me for several years. So I didn't want to buy the lowest spec. I want to get something like an i7 with 32 gigs of RAM and a good, decent, like I got a 1 terabyte hard drive on there. And it's the NVMe2, when I want the type of SSD drives. It's like the high end SSD. So it was an option there. So I clicked on that one as well. So I like it. It's pretty snappy and responsive. It works really well. We'll find out in 3-4 years from now if it fries on me or what, but hopefully it lasts for a while. The only thing I don't like about it is not a lot of ports. There's like 3 USB-A ports, and there's 1 USB-C, and then the Ethernet ports on the left side instead of the back. And I think I already mentioned this in the last episode, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself. But my work laptop, I have a Dell Precision 7550, and it's got a full-on keyboard with numpad and everything. While the Alienware laptop itself, it doesn't have a numpad, so it's like, it's got room to fit a lot more keys on it, but for some reason they haven't put the whole numpad and everything. It's just a basic keyboard, but it works well. It's nice. I like it. So anyway, let's start moving on the list here before we because this is gonna last like a 3-4 hour episode, and I know you had to do. So first item we have on the table is changes to our eyeBytes YouTube channel. I'll let you take over this one.
Yeah. The reason why I mentioned I wanted to add that to the list was because I actually went ahead and uploaded all the YouTube. Let me rephrase that. I went and uploaded all the podcasts to YouTube, created a playlist called Podcasts, and I uploaded all from season episode 1 all the way to episode 10. They're all there now. You can also listen to it on YouTube, because I know some people prefer listening to it on YouTube. I think we do have a couple of friends from our chat that we do, and it's good. I've uploaded them, and I will from now on also be uploading it to YouTube as well.
That's good. So
just a short update. You
can find our channel, and I think it's eyeBytes Podcast on YouTube. I think that's what the
just let you know there's no visuals. The only visual thing is that it's just the eyeBytes banner looping over and over and over in the video, just for visual.
Yeah, I have no video. I'm not recording. I'm not recording this fluffy face of mine on the camera. So
yeah. So again, there's no actual there's no video format of this. Just let you know, it's just an audio version.
Our production budget's not that high enough to cover video. we don't have a corporation behind us supporting us, so we're doing this out of the goodness of our heart. We love doing this, and I said we have our regular jobs on the side, but that's why it takes us a while to record. But we do this on the side, and it's a passion project.
Yeah. Also, Apple increased the price of Apple TV Plus and Apple Music. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I'm not surprised they're increasing the prices. It's obviously now they have a lot more content to back it up now.
It's by $1, right? Not that much.
I think it was like $5.99 or something. I don't remember what it was Canadian. I apologize. I haven't done a lot of research. So I had the individual like Apple Music and Apple TV Plus. And then when they came out with the Apple One subscriptions, I switched over to the Apple One because I wanted one clean subscription instead of multiple. But then I eventually switched over to the family one because I have my work iPhone and I want to have access to all my purchased history from my personal phone. So I switched over to the family plan, and it was fine. It was like, I think it was like $25 Canadian with taxes. But with the change, it's up to like $29, $29. I'm like, that's just a little bit too much. So I kind of reverted back to the individual Apple One subscription.
Oh, that's good.
So,
But yeah, see, I did notice that because I was using the student. I still am. I think I have it by until June. I
you
think.
gotta lose all these special these special offers as a student.
Yeah, because I'm no longer a student.
Wop, 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 wop.
It sucks. Yeah, but because I got Apple TV Plus and Apple Music for the price of $4.99.
You lucky man.
And that actually increased to $5.99.
It
just increased by
the
$1.
regular price like the rest of us now.
But that's what I'm saying. Now I may go switch over to my brother's because he's the student.
Oh, you're gonna use your brother's student account.
Yeah, why not? I don't know. We'll see.
Sure. Good thing to be telling this live on the podcast so everybody else can hear it. So your school,
future me, cut this out.
School's like, he's using his brother's account.
I'm sure a lot of people do that. I'm not the only one, but I know because I did give my brother because he's more of a Spotify fan. In the beginning, I gave him my Spotify account.
Perfect.
I gave him my Spotify account, and so I guess he can support me.
Spotify is pretty good. Like I do like them for the. Actually, no, I think it's YouTube. I remember there used to be an app called Songza. Buddy of mine, Aaron, Aaron Sully here. He's got a little shop here in town called Sully Tech, and anybody needs like their phones or computers to be fixed in the Rockland area. You know, he does a pretty good job. But yeah, I remember when we started hanging out, he used to play epic movie scores out of Songza, and we used to play a game where we used to see who between the both of us could actually recognize the movie tied to that epic movie score. And a lot of times I'd be like within 5 seconds, oh, it's that movie there. It's like, how the heck? I'm like, dude, I watch a lot of movies.
You do. I know you do.
Sound scores from all the movies, so I can easily recognize. Oh, that's Indiana Jones. Oh, that's Star Wars. Oh, that's Spider-Man. I'm like, how the heck? I'm like, I just listen to a lot of movies. But it's gone now. I think they got incorporated into YouTube. It used to be Google Play Music, and they got incorporated to YouTube Music now. So I like to listen to those epic movie scores.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah,
have you seen any new content on Apple?
Yeah, it's moving. Good segue, man. Good segue. That's the next topic. Honestly, I usually watch everything that Apple comes out with. Depending if I'm in the mood to watch it, I usually give it a shot. So there's been a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff since the last time we covered this several months ago. There's been like Bad Sisters. There's been, crikey, what's that? There's a new movie with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. I keep forgetting what it's called. It's a Christmas movie. And there's also there's a lot of new stuff they came out with. Slow Horses, which is a very popular, that's like a British spy type series. It's actually really good. It's got Gary Oldman in there. I think that's his name. Sorry if I messed it up. The other one with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, it's called Spirited. It's like a modern take on The Christmas Carol. And it's actually really good. I have to admit, I liked it. There's Slow Horses, like I mentioned. Bad Sisters, which is actually a very funny comedy. Scottish
I did start
comedy.
that, never finished it. I think I watched 3 episodes.
It takes a while to get into it, but once you get into it, it's actually pretty good. There's Acapulco, which I actually I love that show. It is so funny, and they mainly talk Spanish. But that's fine. Like they have with descriptive audio, they actually read out the subtitles. But it's actually I remember when I was looking into this series, I realized there's a movie called How to Be a Latin Lover, and it's the same character. His name is crap. I'm mixing up on his name. He's got a buddy named Memo. And then his last name is not Guillermo. I apologize. I'm horrible with names. But no, he's basically like he starts off working for the most established hotel in Acapulco. The hotel's called Las Colinas, and it's like I said, they talk mainly Spanish, but they have subtitles and there's English talk as well, and it's really good. Like I have to admit, it's Maximo Guerrero. The character's name, and it's actually really there's like 2 seasons now, and I've watched both, and I love it. It is funny, it is good, and I just love watching it. There's also what was the other one? Mythic Quest, which is also a very good comedy. It's about a game developer, and what's going on in the workshop, like in their shop. There's a lot of comedy. There's also there's like tons of stuff they added, man. There's compared to before, they have like lots of stuff. C just finished as well, so there's no more like there's only 3 seasons of the show C, and it finished about a month or 2 ago. There's I don't know, it's hard to describe. There's a lot of them. Even this weekend they just released Emancipation with Will Smith, which I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it, because given what happened a while back ago with him at an award ceremony, where the host said something apparently that was like, it wasn't that, like, I heard it and I'm like, that's not that bad. It was just a innocent joke, and then he kind of overreacted and went on stage and slapped the guy in the face. I was like, whoa, okay, that's like. And now he's doing an apology tour. It's like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, celebrity drama. I know it's ridiculous, but yeah, he's got a movie. I might take a look at it because it looks like it might be good. Usually he's a pretty good actor, but dude's like, there's a lot. Like, it's hard. I can't go through all of them because there's so much. I'm just trying to think of the ones I've seen recently, and it's like there's just so much of it.
Wow.
But it's definitely.
I need to go catch up, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's a lot. Like, they've added a lot more stuff, and like there's Ghostwriter, which is more of a kids show. But I remember when I was a young teenager, there was a show called Ghostwriter, which is about these group of kids that communicate with a ghost. The ghost kind of writes, writes messages on using all sorts of stuff, and then they kind of solve mysteries. And they kind of like it. The only reason why I liked it is because the first episode you had Samuel L. Jackson in it. I was like, oh, cool. And he was only there for the first episode, but after that, that series kind of ended on a not a cliffhanger, but it was like you never really found out they were trying to find out throughout the series like who the ghost was, and they never actually solved that. So, but the remake they did with Apple TV Plus, I think there's like 2 or 3 seasons. I think there's only 2 seasons, but they have them in parts. So they have like part 1 of season 1, part 2 of season 1, and so on. And in those first 2 seasons, they actually, they figure out who the ghost actually is. And then there's a 3rd season, and this one actually it aired, I want to say a couple of months ago. And it was I thought this one's going to, how they're going to continue the story, because they figure out who the ghost was. And then the season 3 was like a new group of kids, the same location, bookstore, and there's a new ghost. And I was like, oh, okay. But yet by the end of the season, the whole thing was solved and they figured out who the ghost was. So I was like, oh, okay. But again, that's more of a kid stuff. It's not everybody's going to want to watch it, but I only watch it because of nostalgia reasons. Because I saw the cartoon, or not the cartoon, but the show when I was a kid, and I liked it. So, but yeah, there's I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's a lot of stuff that's on Apple TV Plus, which I have to admit, compared to when it first came out, there's a heck of a lot more now. Definitely worth checking out.
I will definitely.
But I'm looking forward to the morning show. Hopefully I don't know when that's going to come. Hopefully.
Yeah, when did the season 2 started?
Season 2's already been done. They already had season 2.
No, I know it's done, but like,
season
remember
3
when
should
it
be
started?
coming hopefully soon. I don't know when.
I should Google that.
But yeah, other than that, there's not much else really. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek as well. Star Trek Picard was a while back ago. Then we had Star Trek Lower Decks season 3. Then we had now there's Star Trek Prodigy, which is more of a kids animated show. But I'm watching it because it kind of follows up off of Star Trek Voyager, which is a series I love watching. Like, I watched them all. I watched the original series, which I love. That's one of my favorite ones. But I was more raised on the Next Generation. But then I also sat down, and thankfully I had a friend of mine where I used to work before. She had the DVDs of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager, so she lent me all the DVDs. So I watched the entire series of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, then Star Trek Voyager, and then I watched Star Trek Enterprise, which was like a prequel. And then I think after that, they didn't have any Star Trek for a while. They had a lot of the movies, but then the last few years, they started re-releasing series with Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Picard. They have Star Trek Lower Decks, which is more of a comedic. I think it's produced or directed by the same guy, or written by the same guy who does Rick and Morty, which is more of an adult type of cartoon. But it's really funny. It's like in the Star Trek world, and it's based off of was an episode of Next Generation. They had lower deck crew members, like the junior officers who were on like in the lower decks of the ship, and it was such a popular episode. That's why they came out with this cartoon instead. But yeah, so going back to our original topic, so yeah, definitely a lot of new shows on Apple TV Plus, definitely worth checking out. There's also a couple of movies that they came out with as well. Finch, which was a Tom Hanks movie on Apple TV Plus.
I think I called you one day to ask if there were movies too. I thought
there
was only TV shows.
There's more series that comes out than movies, but they had like the Spirited came out, Emancipation. They had another series called Blackbird, which was actually based off a true story. But one of the last series that had Ray Liotta before he passed away. He was a good actor. You'll know him from like Goodfellas and other movies like that. But it was a guy, a hotshot who kind of got in prison and became an informant because it was like a serial killer / rapist or something that was in prison with him, and they wanted to get dirt on him. So they had this like other guy who was like a sort of a low level crime boss who was like in there, and he was trying to find information on this other killer, and it was actually really good. Like I actually enjoyed that one. But the movies that had like Finch with Tom Hanks, they had another movie with Tom Hanks. It's like he's like a captain of a warship in during World War II. I'm horrible with names. I'm sure I'll remember the name later on, but it was definitely a good movie. If you look at it, they always have new stuff coming up every week. There's every week or two they have a new series that's starting up, and it's always on Friday, or they have a new movies coming out, and it's descriptive audio is like amazing on that. I have to admit, they have like multiple language descriptive audio, and the AD is just top notch. Yeah, and a lot of Star Wars stuff as well. Sorry, I have nothing to do much in the evening, so I watch a lot of TV and movies or read. And so yeah, like a lot of Star Wars, like for example, Star Wars Endor, which is another series that came out, which is really good if you like that like adult spy type of thing. And they had Star Wars. What was the other series they had? They had the Book of Boba Fett, which was not that great, and they had the Star Wars, the Mandalorian. And there's another one they came out with, I think, forget what it was called. But there's one that's coming out, which I'm looking forward to. It's called Ahsoka, which is a character from the prequel of Star Wars. And I'm looking forward to that one because there's not a lot of content with her besides the Clone Wars animated series and the Star Wars Rebels animated series. But yeah, anyways, we'll skip this because I'm talking a lot about this stuff and I could talk forever. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely you can. I know. The next topic was in an out interview, Apple kind of confirmed. I won't say confirmed because I can't say confirmed until it actually happens. They have confirmed that USB-C is coming to the next iPhone. Yeah. But I won't say it's confirmed. In the interview, they said that they have to comply.
With the EU.
With the EU, which I mean, obviously they have to, and that's what those are the words they used. Yeah, so exactly. So they have until 2024 to actually comply. They don't have to do it next year or this year. Next year, 2023. They don't have to because they have another year. But they might.
I don't know. I'm kind of hoping the iPhone 15 is going to have USB-C.
They might, because the thing is, I think what they're trying to do is because they have until 2024, I think they're trying to like figure out how they can get MagSafe. How they can transfer data.
I really hope they do that. I would hate that if they did that. This whole obsession of removing all the ports, all the connection, everything to make it completely I'm like, no, like, come on, seriously. Like,
I understand.
To me, like,
I do want USB-C as well because we get faster data transfers. Speeds because the new iPhone, especially the Pro models, they can record in Pro RAW, right? And the files are massive. Like 1 minute video is like 3 gigabytes. It's ridiculous. So like and even if the new iPhone, let's say the 15 comes out with the regular model, not the Pro, that one will still have USB-C, but it won't have
I heard
speeds.
It's lower spec USB-C on the regular ones, and then the higher spec USB-C on the Pro models.
Yeah, but I understand why they're doing that is because that phone doesn't have Pro RAW.
Yeah,
right.
But
you don't need fast transfer speeds.
I can get that. one thing I don't like, and I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but the lower spec iPhones are going to have the older chip from the previous year, and the Pro ones, I'm like, really? Seriously? Like, I'm guessing maybe the reason why they do that is maybe because of supply shortages and everything. That maybe they're deciding, okay, well, let's have, instead of having all 4 phones use a newer chip, let's just have like half of them, and the other one we can use some chips that we have in stock that we can use again.
Which I think they kind of learned from that, and now they also learned that a lot of people are okay with that. Which is, I don't think that they should be though, because it's kind of, it's a new phone. You know, it's like you're buying an old phone with a new name on it, basically.
Yeah, but I know, but for me, it's like I see that as, again, lack of supply. They can't pump them out as much as they can because, again, I think I heard there's like also some things going on in China as well. Apparently there's something about some of the workers for the plants were promised certain things, and they arrive and say, oh yeah, we can't give you that anymore. And like, what? And they kind of like were rioting or something, and then the police came in and beat some of the workers. It's like, yeah, it doesn't look good for Apple if they don't say anything. Like, hopefully they say something. I'm against that. I'm like, they shouldn't be, if they were promised something, they should be given that, and not be said, oh yeah, we promised you we'll give you extra money, and then yeah, we're changing our mind. No, that's wrong. If you're promising something to your workers, you give them what you're promised. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know what's going on in supply. Maybe there's issues with the chips. That's why they're limiting which phone has the newer chips. I think it's kind of sucky, but it is what it is.
Capacitive buttons may be coming to the next phone too.
Oh, that'd be kind of weird. I heard it was the.
By the way, those of you who don't know what I mean is, how with the iPhone.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm just saying the audience, if they don't know what I'm talking about, is the iPhone 7, the 8 had a button, a button that you could actually press. It felt like you were pressing it, but if you powered off the phone, you couldn't really press it because it's not a real button. It's a motor that's, Taptic Engine is mimicking a button, which will see with a home button. It kind of makes sense. I found that because those of you who actually used triple click to like turn voiceover on and off, I used that throughout the day a lot, and the regular button wore off a lot faster. The power button you don't press as often, I find, because especially when they introduced the back tap feature, I don't use triple click the power button. I just double tap the back of my phone to enable voiceover and disable voiceover.
Honestly, I could see them doing that for like the volume up, volume down, but the side button.
They have to, because there has to be a way to like reset the phone, force reset the phone.
Yeah, but that, and there's also have to be a way of powering it up. Because I remember I had my 8 Plus when it was powered off and you pressed the home button, it was like, no, you can feel nothing. It was like just,
you can.
Which was obviously it was powered off, so the haptic engine wasn't on. But I'm like, if you do that for the power button, how the heck are you going to boot the thing up? It's like you have to boot it up. You have to have a physical button.
You know what? The MacBook. My MacBook has that same trackpad as the home button.
Yeah, but your MacBook also boots up when you lift up the lid.
No, I powered it off with the lid open, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as I pressed the trackpad, it powered on.
Okay, well.
So unless if they can do the same thing, but I don't know if you want to do that though. If you want to leave the phone off and you put it in your pocket, and all of a sudden it's on again.
We're also like a long way away before we get news about the iPhone 15. So I know for me next year, I'm still rocking my iPhone 11, and I may be upgrading next year. I'm just trying to see what kind of offers and deals I can get, because here we don't have iPhones being sold on Amazon. And like in US, you can buy your iPhone off of Amazon. Here we can't. But yet, obviously, they don't have specific. Like on all the Apple products you can buy on the monthly plan. Like on Amazon, like I remember this microphone I bought. I put on a monthly plan. It was like the maximum I could put was 5 months. So that's a little bit easier on the wallet when you pay it in chunks. And I was looking for fun for the Apple Watch Ultra. So can I get it? Nope. It's like you buy it outright and that's it. But it's also $1,100. I'm like, that's a little bit pricey for an Apple Watch.
Yeah, it is expensive. Yeah.
But
I checked that out at the Apple Store.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what we'll see what happens with the capacitive buttons. We'll find out, I'm sure, when they talk about the iPhone 15 and everything. But yeah, before we move on,
Yeah,
shout
got a
out to
couple
John from the Apple Store.
Yes,
I actually
yes,
went
yes.
there when I sold my Mac. I actually went there, and he was another gentleman who helped me to get my Mac up and running because we were trying to reset and reinstall the OS, and I kind of mucked it up. And that's one thing I do like about the Mac. When you reboot and you can actually go into your recovery assistant and you can turn on voiceover. On the Windows, you can't turn on narrator in the BIOS. So you're kind of screwed that way. It's kind of suck. Because now my laptop, I lift up the lid, it boots up. Now I'm like, okay, but I don't want that. I'd rather press the power button. But in order to change it, I got to go in the BIOS. I've Googled it everywhere and it's like, oh, you got to go in the BIOS to disable me. But I can't go in the BIOS because I can't enable the screen reader in the BIOS like you can with the Mac. So, but yeah, so when I was there, another one of the Apple geniuses helped me out. But then while I was there, the guy's like, well, is there anything else we can help you with? I'm like, well, since I'm here, I want to look at a lot of the Apple stuff. Like I don't have no Apple store nearby where I live. So I figured, well, while I'm here, I like to take because for me, I want to see with my hands. So there's another gentleman named John, awesome guy. He walked around with me. He showed me the Apple Watch, the AirPods Pro 2s. He showed me the Macs, the new, not the XDR screen, but he showed me the Mac Studio monitor, the Apple keyboard, the new iPhones, the new iPad. Like we spent a good hour walking around, like to the point my dad was in the outside of the shop, in the hallway of the shopping mall. I was like, he's almost done. He's almost done. And when I was done, it's like, geez, that took you long enough. I'm like, well, there's nobody in the family that's tech nerds like I am. So when I have somebody else who I can talk to about tech, it's pretty awesome. So John, actually awesome. Shout out to John. Thank you, man. You were awesome to help me out, and I appreciate it. I love the conversation we had about talking all about the cool stuff that Apple had. And I also told him of the podcast, so hopefully he's listening. It'd be kind of cool if he does. But.
Yeah, that will be cool because I'm going to actually most likely upload this tomorrow. On
already? That's soon?
Yeah,
I forgot you're not in school anymore, so you have plenty of time.
Yeah, I can work on this, and tomorrow I may be actually going to Bayshore as well, again to go buy some a suit for my brother's birthday. And if I see John, I'll let you know.
Well, I told him last time you were there, I said you should ask for John. He was awesome, man. It was having a good time just going around the store and showing me. Like it was like. I was like surprised he actually gave me the time because like an hour around the store checking every little thing out just to see physically. Like I saw the Apple Watch. It looks pretty. It's a gorgeous watch. Way too expensive for what it is. I even told him about the AirPods Max. He asked me like, "Do you have a pair?" I actually do, but I waited till the price dropped significantly, and because I'm like. $800 for AirPods Max. I'm sorry, that is way overpriced for what it is. They're great headphones, but they're way overpriced because
I think 400 Canadian. Best.
Yeah, 500 Canadian. I could see that 500 plus tax. I know in the US it's 550, and whenever I talk to people from the US and when this the AirPods Max came out and they're like, oh, it's 550. I'm like, yeah, here in Canada it's 780. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's 780, and here in Canada it's like it's really
before
expensive.
Taxes.
Yeah, before taxes. So it was crazy expensive, but. When I bought mine, like Amazon had dropped the price by about $150, and then I had a $200 gift card, which dropped it down to like 400 something. So with me, it came out to like just less than 500. I'm like, perfect. I still love them. I wish they would have a power button.
They could. I mean, the noise cancellation button. They could easily
I'm sure they could
make
find a
it
way
that
to use
you press and hold that button down, and the thing will power off. Yeah, I don't know why they don't want to.
I'm sure they can figure it out, but no, it has to be in the little bra case in order to keep it powered up. Like, just shut it off, man. Like, come on, you should completely shut it off. You don't drain the battery for no reason, and it doesn't drain the battery that much when it's in the case. But even then, like, you might lose a percent, it still loses a bit of battery. I'm like, just give us the option to turn it down.
I have it at 100%. By next week, if I don't touch them, they're dead.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So, anyways. So moving on, next item we have, again, we're still on the Apple train here.
Rumors of
iPads 16, 14 as well. I don't know. I haven't heard much about this, so I'll let you.
No, 16 inch.
Oh, sorry, 16 inch. Sorry.
Yeah. So
16 inch.
Not iPad Pro 16. I think we're only on like the 5th or 6th generation, but
I'll do that.
No, but I think a 16 or 15 inch iPad Pro will be freaking massive. Because I do have a 15 inch MacBook.
Is it 16 inch?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, I just clicked on it. 16. Why it's a really no? They're like what?
Because the 12.9 inch is already massive. I find when I first bought that one, in 2015, I found it huge because I came from the iPad 3rd generation, and I went straight to the iPad Pro. It was a massive upgrade, and it was amazing. But having a 15-inch MacBook, I think that MacBook, just a touchscreen, glass panel, I think that's not for me. I think it's great for content viewing on a desk.
Well, I think it's for people who draw as well. Having a bigger canvas to work with and the Apple Pencil, that's probably why they have the bigger screens.
Point, because it's 12.9 inches. I do like my 12. I wish I had an iPad. I know I sold it. I want to buy another one. I'm hoping, because I have a feeling they're going to redesign the iPad Pro next year or something. If they do, that's when I'm going to buy another iPad. So
what a shocker. You buying more Apple products.
Well, see, I kind of miss an iPad. I really do. I use my phone so much. I have over 7 hours daily on it. It's not good.
Well, I had the iPad Mini when it first came out, and I loved it. It was great. But then I upgraded the iPad Mini too, but I just found myself that I do most of my stuff off my iPhone, and having the big, like, not that I didn't mind the bigger screen on the iPad. You have the columns. You can go from one column, like when you have an email, you would have your emails on the left, and then the right side. When you tap on an email, the email will pop up in preview on the right side. It was great, but I'm like, you know what? I had it for a while. I liked it, but I just found myself using my iPhone more. So I figured, there's no point in having this device.
The thing is, if I still had my iPhone 7, that only lasted me at least 3 to 4 hours. And that wasn't enough for me. I had to plug it into the charger a lot throughout the day to get me throughout the day.
That phone's old.
That phone is old, I know. I upgraded from the 7 to the 12 Pro Max. And when I did to the 12 Pro Max, I got an increase in battery by so much. I felt like I had an iPad Pro battery on my phone. So I just use my phone a lot more. I sold the iPad, I don't need it anymore. Also, it was getting old. And I sold it at the right time, sold it for a great price. And thank you for the person who bought it from me. I appreciate it, that person. But I may upgrade, or not upgrade, but I may go get another, because it was great for content viewing in bed.
Oh, yeah.
In bed or in, places that you don't want to bring a laptop in. I was thinking to get the iPad Mini, but then when I went to the Apple store, I'm like, okay, here's the iPad Mini and here's the 12 Pro Max. It wasn't that much of a difference in screen size. So I'm like, it's okay. Then I'll just stick with the iPad Pro. There's another iPad that the new one came out, the iPad 10th generation, I think.
Yeah.
I just find I don't know. I want the power.
Well, I'm sure there's use cases for all the different iPads they have.
Definitely.
I can imagine the bigger iPads being valuable for somebody who has low vision, being able to use that big massive screen to take photos and stuff like that. It'd be kind of awkward, or you can enlarge your font really large on those bigger iPads. But for somebody who's low vision, that would be awesome. But
there's an app called the Filmic Pro that I use on my phone. There's another app called Filmic Remote, and you can view your camera's viewfinder off of a different screen. So I actually did use my iPad Pro to view my phone's screen, and I can actually control the camera from my iPad. So I have if the iPhone is on a tripod, I could control the camera, all the settings from the iPad, and it was awesome because I could see the viewfinder a lot better. Also, I want to use it with my drone more because I find that I'm kind of limited and I can't see much, especially when it's bright outside.
Bigger screen would
help.
Bigger screen.
Sure. Yeah, but bigger screen will help a lot. Yeah,
we'll see what they announce. Hopefully they'll have something announced next year. I don't think they'll be announcing anything now, because if they would have announced new hardware, they would have done it by November. But it's like middle of this, almost. Yeah, we're the 12th of December today. So yeah, I don't think they'll have anything this year. I think it'll be, if they announce anything, it won't be till next year. But you never know. They might be able to drop a press release or something and just drop new products without doing a big event.
Yeah, something small. Ad. There are more ads on the App Store.
Good segue. Yeah, next item is the Apple ad. I honestly have not noticed any ads in the Apple
I don't either.
Store.
I'm not gonna lie to you. People were saying
talked about that, but I don't know. I haven't seen any. Have you?
Unless they're still working on the algorithm, maybe if they have added it or not. I don't even know if they have implemented it or not. I know I do see 1 or 2 ads on the App Store when I search for something.
Yeah.
But
they always have those sponsored results. I'm like, I hate those. I'm like, just give us what we want.
Well, they want to make money wherever they can.
Mm-hmm.
Typical business stuff. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Next we had on the item was the
eSpeak.
Yeah, the eSpeak voices. So again, when you mentioned this, I heard them like, really? Like I remember using eSpeak on NVDA, and it was horrible voices. I'm like, really? They want to bring this to the iPhone? I'm like, hey, great, cool. More options, but I don't see myself using these voices.
Because just to let you know how it works, is you don't. It's not going to be baked
the
in.
App.
Yeah, it's not baked in.
No, it's a test flight app right now. It's in beta. You install the app, and then I don't know if you have to do anything in the app, but eventually it'll show up in the voiceover voices, and you can just select them from there, and then it becomes your voiceover voices for the navigating the OS, whatever you want to do. And you have a lot of voices. I play around with it. It was nice, but
it's basically the same way as you install third-party keyboards where you download an app. It's kind of sucky that you kind of have to have a whole app on your Springboard.
No, they might add one. They might incorporate that into iOS like they did with Eloquence.
Yeah, but eSpeak
for how many years have people wanted Eloquence from Code Factory on their iPhones, and they never did it? And all of a sudden, out of the blue, oh yeah, we had Eloquence. I'm like, what?
But again, Eloquence is like baked in though, right? But these are like third-party voices that other people can other developers can add. It doesn't have to be eSpeak. It could be other, new voices that people are working on, which is nice.
But even like I have an Eloquence on my router. I never use it. It's there. I don't know. I use Samantha.
You were very, very happy when I first told you about it. I was
thrilled because I'm one of those people. Like I on my JAWS, I use Eloquence. I don't use any like human voices. I like using Eloquence because I want speed, and it's made for speed. You can crank up the speech rate, and it doesn't break or cut off any words, and it's made for that. And I don't know, it doesn't sound quite the same as what I hear on JAWS. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but I just I'm just. For me,
I've used
using Samantha for so long. I know people are going to say, Samantha, what the heck? Because, somebody teased me once before and said, oh, she sounds like a woman, somebody's been smoking 4 packs a day. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I kind of like her. I'm so used to her voice and the way she speaks words that I tried switching over like Karen or other voices like Daniel from the UK, and I even tried having what's his face, Alex from, and I just find myself just going back to Samantha. I don't know why.
I've been using Alex since it came out, and I know it takes up a gig of your data now on storage.
On the Mac, it's fine. On the Mac, I had Alex. I liked Alex on the Mac, but when it came to the phone, I just got. And plus, it's like 1 gig. I'm like, I'm sure there's a lot of like bits.
It's all about the breathing, man.
But it's just, to me, like I want to save
for the breathing.
Yeah. That's I heard that. I'm like, really? Why is he breathing? I was like, eventually he's gonna talk. He's gonna start talking by himself. But no, like I don't know. It's like when I've been using Samantha from the very beginning when I started getting when I got my first 4S. And I don't know. It was like a period of time when an OS came out and Samantha sounded way off and she was not great. And I actually switched to the Shlomo female voice. I don't want to say her name, but but then eventually another update came around, and then the Samantha voice came back to normal. I switched back, and the reason why I like her a lot is because she's built into the OS. There's nothing to download. And you can download the premium ones, but I prefer the compact ones. I'm not complicated. I just like simple.
Just to let the audience know before you continue here, I wanted to say that the HTTP, the link to download eSpeak, just in case if you want it, will be in the show notes down below. You can click on that and make sure you have the test flight app from the App Store. To make sure you download that before you click on this link.
Well, I think there's also there's another app there. It's a Reddit client. I'm horrible at remembering names. I keep forgetting what it's called, but it's an accessible Reddit app, and the developers had it on the test flight app for so long because he's constantly working on it. And but it's a good app too as well.
It is, yeah. I had it before. I don't know if I still had it. I think I do.
So next on the list we have SOS texting is now available on the iPhones now. iPhone 14, I think it's the 14 Pro or just the 14 and 14 Pros, I think.
Which one? Emergency SOS?
Yeah, the texting now you can do using satellite.
Oh, the satellite feature. Yeah, that's available on the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pros. Yes.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was just a Pro thing or not, but yeah, I don't have a Pro or a 14 to test it with. I've heard podcasts talk about it. I think on the Tech Abilities podcast with Jeff Thompson, he's actually done. He says he has a 14. He tested it out. It works really well. I've seen other people on YouTube do a test.
If I had the 14,
it works
I would
really well
definitely
as
demo
well. So, who knows?
if I had the 14, I would definitely demo it. Not the crash detection, but
no, I wouldn't test that. That wouldn't be crazy enough. But maybe next year if I get the 15, I can test that out. But I hear it works really well. They have if you go, I think in the
demo version,
in the settings under the emergency SOS, there's an option there to test it out as like a demo. You would use the satellites, but you're not actually connecting to 911. It's just using Apple's like demo type of feature where you can just test it out yourself. Apparently, it's very accessible. It works really well. I don't know. I haven't played with it, but apparently it's there and it works. So that's kind of cool.
iOS security response 16.2b.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I don't know what you're talking about.
So okay. With iOS 16.2, which will be which was actually supposed to be released today. I don't know what happened. I don't know when it's coming out because the RC version came out last week for developers, and usually the following week Apple release it to the public, unless if they found a few bugs they want to fix. But anyway, whenever iOS 16.2 comes out, there will be these short updates that you could do. These are security response updates. And B is the latest beta version. So we had A and B to test twice. And the way you download it is you just go to settings, software update, and then it will populate. And it will say 16.2 B or A, whatever. It will actually say security response B or whatever, right? And when you click on download and install, it's only like 5 megabytes or maybe 2 megabytes. I think the latest one was only 3 megabytes. Yeah, but when you do download it, the next thing that happens is the phone will just shut off. Apple logo, not even the loading thing underneath the Apple logo. Is just the Apple logo, and then the phone will reboot. That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Android, I think, where you can have the OS updates or you can have security patches that are updated besides like a side update of the security patches, and that way you can still get the security patches while having to update the OS itself. So is that what it's all about, or?
Yes. Okay. It's only about small security things, and now Apple doesn't have to do 16.1.1.1. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think I think the maximum they go is 0.1.1. Like they wouldn't go like another 0.1 on top of that. It's just like it's be point X. Like it's. I've never seen him go 16.1.1.1.1. It's always been no. It's always been like 16 point, like the OS point X, and that's it.
Yeah. So there's no more. I don't think they will stick with 16.1.1. They'll just do 16.1, and if there's a security thing, they'll just send one out.
Next,
nice and short, simple.
We've covered all the Apple stuff. I swear we're not talking about Apple anymore.
Nope.
Next item we have is PayPal will now be using the passkeys. Remind me what this is again. I forgot what this was about.
I haven't tried it. I should. But what it does is you don't have to log in with a username and password anymore. You just log in with your device. You put your fingerprint or you use Touch ID or Face ID.
That whole thing.
Yeah, that whole thing. And they, I don't even know how it really works, honestly, but it's so cool. And I don't know if I will opt in. I think I will, but not with my PayPal because it's already set up. The account is set up. I don't know how to transfer this account username and password to that. I haven't checked it out, but it'll be nice that you just log in with Face ID, Touch ID, and you're in. You don't have to worry about security codes and all that jazz. It's all secure in the background.
I'm sorry. I'm old school. I hate passwords. This whole thing using your Face ID, your fingerprint, your blood sample. Like, no, thank you. Give me just let me use a password. That's it.
But again, you won't be able to soon, though. That's what all the companies
that's what I
are
hate,
going
man. They're
to.
forcing us on this. Really?
More
Come on, man. Like, you're forcing us your way. Like, I get it. Like, if I don't like this, I can just switch devices. But I'm like, still, like,
A while ago,
I don't know.
YouTube redesigned.
I don't know. I don't think this is gonna happen. I think they're gonna do it, but I don't think they're gonna force us to do it now, and that's it. You're stuck with it. No, I think it's gonna be a slow rollout. Because I think a lot of people are like me, are like, you know what? No, I don't want to use this. I want to use a password or a two-factor as well. Like, no, I don't want to. And I'm sure it's got its merit. It's probably worth it. It's just, I don't know. I'm old school. Bah humbug. I don't know.
YouTube redesigned things a little bit.
Really?
I mean, it's more visual.
Or the website?
Both. There's just more bubbly. There are more bubbly buttons.
Buttons. Wow. Okay, that's bubbly button.
I found that there's more like poppy buttons.
Poppy button. Wow.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not just trying to figure out. Like, it's more fun, I guess. I don't know. It just
more
looks
animated.
Animated, but even like
I can't see it, so I have no idea what it looks like. To me,
yeah, but I'm just saying that if you find that I found that I couldn't find the subscribe button. It used to be red, now it's white, with a white background with black text in it. So it's just it looks like an actual button now instead of like a link. But that's about it.
If YouTube's listening, can I suggest something? The shorts section, when you play a short, could you please have the back button at the top left corner instead of having it at the bottom? They used to have that, but when you used to play a short, the back button was exactly what you would think of, at the top left corner of the screen. Now you got to go at the bottom and swipe left like about 20 times before you get to the back button. I'm like,
what does the back button bring you to?
It's just because the shorts, they repeat over and over and over until you go back to your previous screen. But before, it used to be very simple. You used to swipe up to the two finger swipe up. Or do a 4-finger tap to the top, and it would bring you to the top, and you would be on the back button. You could double tap very quickly. Now, every time I want to go back from a shorts video, I got to go at the bottom of the tab and then start swiping left until I get the back. And by doing that, I miss half the video because it's like I'm hearing voiceover, and because it's so cumbersome to find the back button now. I like finding it before I start listening.
What does the back button do exactly, though? Where does it bring you?
It's because the problem is if you don't click the back button, the video keeps repeating over and over and over and over. Because when you open the shorts, it opens up like a video screen like it does a regular video, and it keeps playing it over and repeats it over and over and over until you click on back to go back to your previous screen.
Oh, you just go to it because now what they did is they actually added it to a separate tab.
Well, it has a separate tab, yes, but when you go to your home tab, you have your, here's videos you might like, but then you have a section for shorts, and you can tap on that. It's fine, but the thing is, before,
just click on the home tab. When you
tapped on the video and it started playing, and you were done watching it, you could easily get to the back button by just do a 4-finger single tap at the top.
The reason why is because I think they implemented it into like a separate tab now, that when you click on the shorts, it actually kicks you into its own shorts tab. And that's why you had to click on.
I don't really go to the shorts tab that much. I stay in the home tab when you first load the app, and then if you keep swiping through the videos at the top, you have a section for shorts, and you swipe through there, and you tap on them, and they're actually short.
Yeah,
videos.
there's shorts, and there's also like these other ones.
There's regular videos and the short videos. Although I see more short videos than I do see regular videos. So I don't. Maybe the algorithm doesn't know what I like. I don't know. But it's just
subscriptions.
It used to be where, like I said, you used to tap on a short and you used to play it, used to repeat it, but you could easily get to the back button and go back and then go to the next video. But with it's been like over a year, or it's been a while since they've done this change. But now it's like it's no longer the back button's no longer at the top left corner. It's now like I gotta go. It's at the bottom of the screen somewhere, and it's not. It's not easy. You can't find it as easy and quickly as you used to. That's what I'm trying to say. Like before, it said you do a 4-finger single tap at the top, boom, you were straight at the back button, and you can go back very quickly. Now you got to go at the bottom of the screen, and you got to swipe left until you hit the back button, and you got to swipe like about like the only fastest way I found is to do a 4-finger single tap at the bottom, so it goes at the last tab at the bottom right corner. Then you swipe left until you hit the back button. But you have to swipe like 20 times. I might be overdoing it, probably like a dozen times, but you have to swipe multiple times in order to get to the back button, which is annoying. Like, it's just like, why put it so, like, why bury the back button down at the, like, put it back where it used to be before, top left corner. So
they don't want you to leave.
If anybody's in YouTube's listening, please change that back to the, like, I don't care if all the other buttons stay the same. I don't care. Just put the back button where it used to be. Where it's, logically, you would find it is at the top left corner.
That makes sense.
That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But
audience, the next four topics are about Elon Musk buying Twitter.
Elon Musk he bought Twitter. He's spouting a lot of crap on Twitter now. He's letting people on, then kicking them off. He had Kanye West on for a while. Then Kanye West posted something about Hitler and Nazism or whatever, and then he got kicked out again.
Really? I don't know that.
Then he had the suit, complained to Apple. Oh, you're removing your ads from my platform. Blah blah blah. You're against freedom of speech. I'm like, oh, bloody hell. And then the Apple's like, no, like we're just this is what I remember. Was it last week? I listened to Mac Break Weekly where they actually kind of gave a good justification as to why Apple might have pulled out and then came back. I don't remember what it was, but it's like, I don't know. To me, it sounds like he's a child with a temper tantrum. I don't know. He's an interesting character, but I don't know. I don't know. Anything that he comes out with nowadays, I just don't trust anymore. I'm like, this guy's. Let's just say he's kind of kooky. So, but yeah. So
they also verified check
the verification checkbox now. Check marks now.
Now they gave it to everyone, and then people were starting. There was a whole fiasco.
Has he reestablished it yet, or because I know he took it away?
No, he removed it. Everything he took Twitter Blue down basically, and now they are putting the same things back. That you had to be verified. Oh, they had to be verified by a checker and everything. Yeah. So
I don't know what you think. Like for me, I don't like the subscription model. Because
for anything, I mean,
well, no, like not for not. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't. The subscription model I don't quite hate because certain developers, obviously to make their product last long and to maintain their product, they have to make money somehow. They have to make some money has to come in to help support their app. I get that. That's fine. But the subscription model for Twitter Blue for the verification, I do not like that. Because here's what the problem is. Before with Twitter, if you want to have that check mark to say, hey, this is, this person that's behind this account is who they claim to be. For example, if you have, I don't know, you have Ryan Reynolds, for example, very famous Canadian actor. Also, recently Unspirited, the newest Apple TV movie. But, if he's on Twitter, he's got that check mark. Well, it's not just a simple process. There's a long process that somebody who wants to get that ID and has to go through. He has to provide ID. He has to. It's a long process to get that check mark. Yeah. So for somebody who wants it, if they're willing to get it and go through the process, they can have it. Boom, that's done. They're good. But now anybody can just pay $8 and they have the check mark.
Not anymore. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I know Twitter took it away, but they're trying to find a way of making it work. And he might decide to reestablish it or something, and pay $10, and it's just paying for verification to confirm that you are who you say you are. I don't like that because anybody can pay the amount and claim it's them. I've heard stories of people who paid the $8, changed their account name and everything to be a valid business and pass it off or they change their name to Elon or something and they pass. It's like, no, that's the problem with that is that anybody can just get that check mark and pretend, validate who they are. And it's not like, it doesn't take, as I say, it doesn't take a lot of effort to get that status when it should take effort. It should take there is a lot. It's not just a simple thing of like, oh, you know what? I want it. Oh, here you go, Mr. Reynolds. Here you go. You have it. No, you have a process you got to go through, and it's a long process. And to me, I like that because it's like, one, it's if you want it, you have to go through the hoop. You have to jump through the hoops to get it. And once you have it, great. But for people who want to goof off and pretend they, not hack, but they want to do stupid shit, stupid stuff. It's like having this long process is something that discourages them from going through because it's too long to get it. But now it's so simple to get it now that anybody's just going to get it, and it's just I don't know. I think it's going to be a bit of a mess.
It will be. It will be. I agree with you.
That's why I actually know. Anybody wondering? I actually switched over to Mastodon now because of all this Twitter. I'm still using Twitter. I'm still on there.
A lot of people left. Even I think what's his name from Apple. I don't think I left. I can't remember his name.
No, not Tim Cook. Not Eddie Q. I think or
Eddie Q. Yeah. No. I don't remember. There's a lot of people. Phil.
Phil. Yeah.
Phil Schiller left.
I'm still on both Mastodon and on Twitter. I still use them both.
Same here.
Honestly, I don't use social media that much. To be honest with you,
Me neither.
I'm not that big on even Facebook.
Honestly, if you look at my feed, it's all about beta updates. That's it.
Yeah, and I just post whenever we have new episodes up, and that's it. But yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't trash it. Or I don't know. One thing I did want to mention that which he fired a big chunk of the staff. And from what I've heard from other podcasts is that he fired them so basically he had a list of all the employees and how much work how much coding did they do? And the people who didn't do a lot of coding got fired. Not only that, he fired the entire accessibility team.
Yep. And
as far as I can tell, he has not rehired them back. And that's one thing I'm like, wow, like you fired, like, I don't know. I'm hoping that, I don't know. I hope he brings them back because, Twitter was not accessible for a while, and then they, over time they made it accessible. It's great. The Twitter app is wonderful. It works great. But now that there's no accessibility team, it's like I'm afraid that app is just going to start going to the garbage. I'm afraid it's going to happen. But hopefully he'll hire them back, or hopefully some of them will want to come back.
I don't know if you know recently what also Elon actually went to Apple's headquarters recently and in person and actually was asking them if they could not take 30% cut when people will buy.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen. And nope, that's not going to happen. So now Twitter.
Yeah, he's cranking the price even higher. So that way
No. For iPhone users, it's $11. And if you go to the website, it's $7.
Yeah, because of course Elon wants all that money for himself. So it's like, hey, let's
But again,
Apple's
look,
taking a 30% cut. Well, let's increase the price tag.
Elon, if you're listening, Elon, if you're listening, which I doubt you are.
I don't very much. Look, he's done great. I have to admit,
I bought your Tesla. I bought your Tesla Model 3.
He doesn't drive it, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you know. I don't think he'd be able to drive it, but yeah, he
not yet. Anyway, but. See, I first of all hire your accessibility team so you can actually put that accessibility team so you can actually add a screen reader to your screen so I can use it as well.
Wow.
Also,
dude, yeah, I don't think a screen reader is going to help you drive that Tesla.
No. But at least I will be able to connect my phone, Bluetooth, and that stuff. I need to take pictures of the screen, zoom in, and find where the Bluetooth button is. When I find the Bluetooth button, take another screenshot, and then this. I have over 16 screenshots saved on my phone, so I can know. Okay, this step. It's kind of annoying, but
once you get your iPad 16-inch, you'll be able to have a bigger screen. You'll be able to zoom in.
I already can zoom in fine on this one.
Well, I have to admit, he's done a lot of good things. Like, if it wasn't for him and the team that he put behind Tesla, EV cars would be kind of like, no, they wouldn't be like, he advanced that a little bit more. SpaceX as well and all that stuff. He's done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he did great things. But these are just questionable things.
It's not only him, it's the people that he put in charge, the people who do the day-to-day operations. They're the ones who keep pumping this stuff out and doing a great job. He had the idea and he put the money behind it, but it's the team that actually put it together and packaged it and sold it. And so, but
they also
to bring up as well is this week he actually, was it last week, he talked about he came up did a presentation for Neuralink, which is something else that Elon's working on. And apparently I listened to some clips from Double Tap Canada, and apparently it's either a chip or a series of chips that he'll implant, and it's supposed to restore sight for those who are blind and help people who have mobility issues, like people who might, be might have no or paralyzed from the waist down or neck down. It could help you restore. And he didn't say like, oh, vision, like it's going to restore partial vision. No, it's going to restore complete vision. And I'm like, even that's like,
I don't want to have chips in my brain. Just not yet. I'm not there yet.
This seems promising. If it wasn't Elon, if it was another company who actually would have announced this, I'd be more optimistic.
Yeah.
But because it's Elon and given the whole drama behind Twitter, I'm like, not right now they presented this because they're looking for human trials. Okay. To me, people are like, oh, we'll have this in 5. Like, no, like, he say like he'd have promise like complete self-driving by 2023, and like, yeah, we're nowhere near
definitely.
it. So
even
stuff like this,
Cybertruck.
yeah, I know. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he's
2019.
made promises on, and okay, I'm sure there's probably valid reasons why things are delayed. But to me, like something like this, like chips to restore vision, like, I'm not seeing this happening anytime soon. Not for another 20, 30 years. By the time this is actually, because, well, it's great to have this for like trials, and I'm sure people are going to jump at the chance. I'm not going to jump at the chance because to me, like, you know what? Like for you, I got a question for you. So given about this whole thing, if you had the opportunity to get your vision back, would you take it back?
Not yet, because I have the ability to walk around and stuff. If I was completely blind, like me, what you have.
But let's say that no, the chip is perfect. Everything works as planned. Everything's perfect, and yeah, it does work. It restores perfect vision, no problem, and there's no complications, no issues, medical issues, whatever. Would you actually say, you know what, screw it? Everything, we've gone through human trials. Everything's checked out. All the bugs have been, or the kinks have been worked out. All the T's have been crossed. The I's have been dotted. We're all good. Human trials were perfect, and this actually does what it says it's going to do. Let's say in 20, 30 years from now, and this comes to be and it's perfect. Would you go for it, or would you like, I'm not sure.
That's promising. Sounds promising. Knowing me, I might go for it.
Yeah, you buy
because
it's technology.
Because it's technology, and it will allow me to, go more freedom, I guess, drive and whatever I want to do myself. But first, I would definitely let someone else try it first.
Yeah,
I won't be the first one. Let's just say
that. Me neither. But because this has been like a bit of a topic in the blind community, is because people say that, especially people who have been blind since birth, are like, well, I've never seen anything, so why would I do this? Like, it's like, I don't have it. Like, and I agree. Like, we have it. We're blind. We're not. It's like, I don't want. I'm trying to do this topic justice, but people are like, you know what? It's like, I don't need to be to get my vision back. I'm perfectly fine the way I am, and that's fine. Everybody has the right to choose whatever they want to choose. For me, I'm torn because I've had vision before, and I've lost my vision afterwards as I got older, and part of me believes, like, you know what? There's a reason why I lost my eyesight, is to kind of help other people through the process, or kind of show people that, even if you have a disability or you're blind, you can still have a normal life. There's nothing stopping you from having a normal life. Things can be challenging at times, yes, but I can adapt, and with the right tools, I can do the same as anybody else. I can't drive a car, unfortunately, but it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Like, one hand, I'm like, you know what? No, I don't need to have this done. But another hand, I'm like, you know what? If I'm to be honest with myself, if everything were to be perfected and everything's fine and there's no complications and everything, I would probably go for it just to get my vision back. But also it depends when this happens. If this happens and I'm like 80 years old, I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's not worth when I'm 80. But if it happens, like, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So I think by the time this actually happens and we start seeing this, people actually getting these procedures done, I think I'll be too old by that time. It won't be worth it for me anymore. But I can see younger generation being, taking advantage of this. But again, like, we're nowhere near this. Like, we're still 20, 30 years away, if not lucky, if not more. So it's still promising to see this work being done. Hopefully at least to something. But anyways, there's that. And also, I know I've also seen that some of the American not corporations, but government federal agencies are also doing an investigation on Neuralink for the mistreatment of animals during the animal testing. Apparently some monkeys died. So yeah, with this also on top of the Neuralink announcement, like, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a toss up.
Yeah, I did see a video of a monkey playing a game. I think it was a jumping game, or whatever. But it's pretty cool how they could get it done, but it's kind of sad that they kind of.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video on YouTube of an animal, a slaughterhouse. And I'm like, my heart, like the way it's like, it was heartbreaking. I was like, wow. It's like, I know that we humans, some of us eat meat, and that's where the meat comes from. But I jokingly said before, when I was a kid, I remember my elementary school, and I told this story to family members. Like I remember very vividly, next to our school, I remember seeing cows walking into this building. I'm like, for the longest time, like, oh, that's weird. Why are we? And then as I got older, I realized that was a bloody slaughterhouse. We had a slaughterhouse next to our elementary school in Ottawa. I'm like, what the heck? They actually had a slaughterhouse. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that was here.
Wow.
Next to elementary school, you hear the cows go, and like, oh my gosh, you're killing the cows.
Oh my
like,
goodness.
I was just like, it was like, it didn't dawn on me when I was a kid. When I got old, I'm like, that was a slaughterhouse. What the heck was a slaughterhouse doing next to elementary school? Like, okay, that's kind of creepy. But anyway,
yeah.
so yeah.
And also, I think of Elon was trying to bring Vine back.
Yeah, that's something else too. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I mean, TikTok is there now. It's thing. YouTube added it.
Yeah, but
now
TikTok's not the most accessible to use. I don't know. And some people use it.
Was Vine? I
installed the app because you shared some videos from TikTok. And I was like, I just installed it to try it. And after I'm like, yeah, you know what? No, never mind. I'll just watch the videos on YouTube. But yeah.
I mean, a lot of people just repeat this stuff on YouTube too, so they don't miss their YouTube audience.
But actually,
I've seen a lot of repetitive stuff on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts.
Talking about TikTok, I don't know if you heard this. You know that on TikTok you can have a synthesized voice say anything you want, right?
Yeah.
They had a voice before, and they figured out who it was, and then the person apparently was not. They didn't have their permission to use their voice, and so they changed it. And they found another one. Her name is Jessie. And for longest, like I listened to the 20,000 Hertz podcast when they talked about this. They talked about the person behind TikTok and they removed and they changed the voice or something, and nobody knew who it was. And I'm like, and then they said, oh, whoever this is, you're really popular, blah blah blah. Well, there's an update to the podcast a little while last week. They found out who does the voice.
Who?
A Canadian radio DJ named Kat Callahan. I think she's in Toronto or Kitchener or something like that. If you look, I think if you, they actually have a podcast, believe it or not. If you check it, I think it's called Scott and Kat After 9. It's a podcast you can subscribe to if you look on your favorite podcast player. Just look for Scott and Kat. Scott is spelled like it sounds. The word and, not the %, but the A and D. Kat is a capital K. And then you have After 9. And then 9, I think, is the number 9, not written in full. And they have a daily podcast of their radio show. And it's a bit of swearing. But yeah, if you listen, like there was actually one of the episodes where she talked about, because she posted a video. She said, I should probably just share this. So she posted a video and it's got like 2, 3, 4 million views or billion views. And people didn't believe it was her, but then she did some voices using that voice. I'm like, yeah, it's her. It's actually kind of sounds cute too, I have to admit. So if Kat's listening, you sound very attractive. Sorry. I don't think she's listening, but yeah, she sounded pretty cute. I have to admit, I liked she had a very lovely voice. But it was kind of cool. Like I just wanted to share, I meant to share this on our group chat, but I wasn't sure if you were aware of the voice or not. I just heard that this week. I'm like,
I've heard it a bunch of times on TikTok, but I wasn't sure who it was.
Yeah, it's Kat Callahan, Kat with a K, and yeah, it's pretty incredible. She's done a couple of clips with her voice as Jessie, and yeah, it's her. It's kind of interesting. I just thought I'd add it on top of the list. So,
additional features were added for Prime customers, Amazon Prime customers.
Yeah.
Like the ability to listen to Amazon Music with the Echo Dots or Echoes. You can't save anything. You can't really ask her to like play specific stuff. I don't think you can.
I from what I understood, is that you can ask her to play albums or music from an artist. You can't specify play this song from this artist. You can't go that far. You can say play music from this artist or play this artist's album. I was like, okay, that's fine. But I was listening to I'm getting a lot of
again. You don't have to be an Amazon Prime Music subscriber. You can just be a Prime member.
As long as you're just Amazon Prime for if you subscribe to Prime, you'll have this. They've included this now, all this music for free. But I thought. From what I understood, you couldn't ask it to play a specific song, but you could ask it to play songs from an artist. You could play songs from an album, and I thought that was great. But then I was listening to again Tech Abilities from Jeff Thompson, this week's episode, and Callie, who is one of the new hosts, she mentioned that she tried that. So okay, it's like I don't need to have Apple Music. I'll try this because for me it's like it's a little bit cheaper. And she tried it, and she says she asked me to play an album from an artist, and it was playing the first 5 songs. After that, it started playing other songs from other bands. It's like, oh, okay, like it never came back to the album. So I don't know. Maybe it was a glitch on her end or something, but it's like if that's what it is, it's like no, like if you're gonna have to play an album, play the whole album. Don't play like the first few songs and then change songs or similar. Like,
maybe the album only has 5 songs. Who knows?
I honestly I don't think so, because if it would have had only 5 songs, I think she would have mentioned it. But anyways, it was interesting. It's great. Yeah, give more to people who you get more music for free. That's great. Yeah. But anyways, do you listen? What do you listen for music? Do you listen to Apple Music, Prime?
See, I do have Amazon Prime. I don't use the Prime Music thing. I use Apple Music currently, and also Tesla in the fall. Not the fall. What I'm saying, Christmas update for the car. They're adding the ability to use Apple Music in the car, because right now Spotify is there. Tidal is coming as well, and you'll be allowed to toot with your phone, I guess.
Toot with your phone. I'm actually curious, like, do they add like Christmas sound bites in the Tesla? So as you're driving, you can probably have like the jing 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 jing. Like as you're driving, like
the cool thing is you can plug in a USB. You can download any MP3 audio you want, and as you're driving, you can let it play.
Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, exactly. When you press the horn,
you start the car, you hear Santa Claus say, "Go Prancer, go Dancer, go Rudolph." That'd be kind of cool, actually.
You can even let the car dance now on the phone. So what that will do is it will also move the trunk up and down. It will it will actually blink the lights in a certain way, and the music will start playing of the outdoor speaker.
I wonder if these cars had like shocks, if it's gonna raise the corner of the car, like I don't know.
Do you mean the suspension? It might with I'm sure with the Tesla size Cybertruck that may happen, because the suspension can go up and down. But I know that the Tesla Model X, because the doors actually open upwards. The doors will actually also move up and down with the trunk. And the side mirrors also move in and out as well. So it's kind of crazy. I think that's the only car that has it. Like Tesla only has these dancing, moving things. And you can even, in the car, if you're a driver, you can because every single seat has like its own speaker. When you're playing music. You can let it fart out of each speaker. So if you're sitting beside someone or whatever, you don't want them to make fun.
Some people have nothing better to do than come up with stupid things for your car.
Anyway, some funny things, but whatever.
Oh well. Let's move on.
Anyway, let's move on.
Sounds here. We can't really top that, but we'll try. Next thing is WhatsApp added communities now. I know we tried this with our group chat, and it was like, I don't know. I wasn't that impressed.
I don't know how it really works. Yeah, we did create one. No one really texted in it, so I don't know how it works. But there is a new bug that we found with WhatsApp, unless if you want to talk about that.
I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but when you have a group chat and you're swiping through your messages, every time a person is done sending messages and you swipe right, you'll hear a contact info button. And I thought it was for every message, but we've had for example, let's say, you send 3 messages in a row. Well, you're not going to have the contact info button after each of your messages. You're only going to have it after your last message. And I was
reason why
Why?
Reason why is because before, this is still there, that each paragraph, let's just say if you write a paragraph, whatever, to me, right? Above that paragraph, above your text message, it will say Daniel. Okay. Now there's actually they use images as well. So your actual icon, your actual photo of you, they put that beside the text on the left hand side. And when you swipe right, voiceover cursor, instead of wrapping that with the text with your name, it's saying that separately. It was a contact photo. See? And I wish, if to get to it, I wish they could just do, if you use the swipe up, you know, you have more or whatever.
Yeah, if it's the actions rotor. A lot of times you go into items and
you
they add functions to the actions rotor, and you can just swipe up and down to reply. And like I said, I know we mentioned this, like it would be great if they could add the contact info in the actions rotor, because it would make the UI so clean. And that's something else. So you mentioned in our group chat that certain people had their, like, the background color, it was a solid color. And I've looked in the settings and I cannot find. The only thing I could find is you can change the wallpaper in your chats. The wallpaper in the back, the background wallpaper for your chat conversation, but you can't change the color behind your name. So each person, like, for me, it doesn't really matter because I can't see it.
It's orange.
Anyways.
I think you are orange in our one chat.
Yeah, like there's if anybody knows how to do this, that'd be great. It'd be great if you can go in your settings and actually change that color. So if you want to have like black or dark blue or whatever, or maybe have like a background of stars instead, that'd be great. Instead of having, just it deciding which color is behind your name. That'd be, because I thought
I wish that way
has a different color, but you said there was a couple of people had the same color.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, a couple of people do have this. I know that you and another person has. I don't know. I don't know if that person wants something to be on here, but I will.
Lime green or something. I don't know. It'd be nice if we could change it. So if anybody knows how to change that.
There is lime green, yeah.
Yeah, so if anybody knows how to change it, email us, eyebytespodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. I would love to hear if you guys have found that out. It's just, I don't know. I like using it. It's a great little app. It works really well. And I have on my Windows laptop, which I have to admit, for those of, I know we mentioned last episode that there was a Windows version in the Microsoft Store that was a lot more accessible. I have to admit, I do like it. It works really well. The reason why I use the Microsoft Store version versus the online version that you can find on the website is that with the Microsoft Store version, once you set it up and link it to your account, you don't need to have your phone on. You can have your phone completely turned off and the app will sync, send and receive messages, no problem. With the other one that you get off the internet, off the website, is your phone has to be on. It uses your phone to send and receive messages back and forth through WhatsApp. But the Microsoft Store one, it doesn't. It just, it does it itself. You need the phone to link it, but once it's done, you're good.
Speaking of Microsoft.
Yes, I have this last one here. And this is something new because I just noticed this morning when I updated the app. It was in the description of what they changed. So those of you,
by the way, this is Microsoft Soundscape.
Yeah. So for those not sure what the heck, I'm sure a lot of people know what the heck this app is, but I'll mention it. So think of when you wear headphones and you're walking out and about. You have Microsoft Soundscape, and it'll actually call out locations and street corners and everything. But the voice is going to come in the direction of the actual the area, for example, if here in Canada we have Tim Hortons, which is a coffee donuts shop, and as I'm walking near Tim Hortons, if it's in front of me to my right and I'm walking by it, well, Soundscape is going to call out Tim Hortons, but the voice is going to come in front of me to my right. And when I'm walking to an intersection, it'll say, I don't know, it'll say coming up to Main Street and 2nd Street. And once you get, like, if 2nd Street is to my left and to my right, well, it's going to say 2nd Street and it's going to come out from my left ear. Then it's going to say Main Street and it's going to come in front of me. And then 2nd Street, the second one's going to be, again, to my right. So it's giving you this kind of like geographical... it's like it's playing, I don't know how to describe it. It's got this like 3D soundscape where it's playing all these different points of interest and these streets in a direction where they actually located. So it gives you sort of a mental map where they are. And
also, I want to say also you can also like add a location and then it adds a shaker, right?
Yeah, you can add little locations as like marker beacons, and it's great. I love it. Like for me, I have a pair of Bose frames. And I love them with both frames because I can walk out and about. I can have, like, I don't need to know turn-by-turn direction. I just need to know as I'm walking what the streets are near me and everything. And there's a lot of apps who do this, but who do, like, they don't have like that soundscape type of 3D soundscape. But they will tell you, oh, like, for example, Blind Square, as you're walking, it's like, oh, you're coming up to main intersection of Main Street and 2nd Street. It'll tell you it's a 4-way intersection, and it's gonna it'll say that, but it's not gonna call it out in the direction where the actual points of interest are. That's what Soundscape does. I love that app for that, and it's free. It's great. Yeah. But today when I updated it, Microsoft said that they, starting January 3rd, 2023, they will no longer make the app available in the iOS App Store. And for those of us who already have the app installed, the app will continue to function until the end of June 2023, where the app will stop functioning altogether. From what I've read from the blog post, they have made the code open source and available to the public, but they will no longer be continuing this project. So hopefully somebody else might pick it up.
I love this app.
But yeah, I noticed that today and I was like, really? Like, I was like, what the? I'm like, what? No, like, I use this. And even a couple of our friends said the same thing. Like, I use this all the time. I'm like, I agree. I'm like, this is both, like, a company who's $1 billion company, or I don't know how much they're worth, but they can't keep this project. I'm like, come on, seriously. But for those, don't worry. From what I read from the blog post, this seems to be the only project that they're cutting loose. So that seems like maybe Seeing AI is going to be sticking around, which I hope, because that's another app I love to use. Although now we have Envision AI, which is free, which is another app in my toolbox. But yeah, sadly, those who use Soundscape, if you want it, download it now and keep it on your phone. But you'll only be able to use it until June. After that, it's the app will no longer work. So
changes to AIRA services.
Yeah, that's the last thing we added. So again, I don't have a lot of details, but from what I understood, again, listen to Double Tap Canada with Stephen Scott, Sean Priest. Awesome podcast. Check it out. They actually had Janine Stanley, and I think they had, I don't remember his name, but I think he was the president of AIRA. They said starting, I think, in January, they will be changing. So for right now, for those of us who don't have an account and don't pay for it, we're allowed to have 5 minutes for free every 24 hours. So before it used to be, you had 5 minutes anytime, and you could call, make it a 5-minute call. Okay, 5 minutes are up. Hang up, call back, another 5 minutes, you're good. They changed that to 5 minutes every 24 hours. And for those who had a paid account, it was, you had, I think it was the first 5 minutes were free for every 4 hours. So after every 4 hour for paid users, the first 5 minutes were free. For free members, guest member, those who were free, didn't pay for it, you had a 5-minute call free every 24 hours. Well, from what I've understood, apparently they realized that apparently 2/3 of their calls were free calls. That's not profitable. So in order to kind of continue the service, because this is like top-notch service. I haven't used it personally because I have family members I can call and bug and annoy.
And I use Seeing AI, or
using AI as well, but sometimes it's good because, again, you have like the Specular, which does photos. You have this other one, I keep forgetting, what is it called again? It's not Seeing AI. It's another one. I'm blanking on the name of it again. Not Blind Square, but it's called again. So you have the Specular photo, but there's another one, Be My Eyes, which is another one, but it's all volunteers. It's all free. So let's just say that
I use that one and it works really well. I built a whole desk.
Yeah, it works great, but if you want like somebody to look at your mail or your bank statements, I would not trust Be My Eyes. No, I'm sorry, because they're volunteers. But AIRA, they're professionals. They're hired. They're vetted. They're professionals, and they have a lot of information available to help you out. You can call them for all sorts of stuff, not just for your bills or anything. But it works really great. I haven't personally used it yet because I have family members that I can call and ask for help. But I have it. I have the app installed just in case, and it's great. But starting January, they decided, well, because a lot of their calls are all the free, and it's not profitable, they decide to now, for paid members, you'll get a 5-minute free every 12 hours. And for those of us who have it for free, it's going to be 5 minutes every 48 hours. So for every 48 hours, we can have a free 5-minute call. instead of 24 hours. And those who were
40
paid,
okay.
they used to have every 4 hours, their first 5 minute, every time they had a call every 4 hours, their first 5 minutes were free. And then they would, after the 5 minutes, it would land on their minute that they paid for. Well, that's changing from 4 to 12 hours for paid members. And for free members, it's now going from every 24 hours to every 48 hours. And apparently, starting January, some of the pricing is going to change. I don't know if it's going to. I'm assuming it's going to increase a little bit. I don't know what's going on with those who already have a plan right now. But just heads up for people who use AIRA. Just unless you got an email about that. But just heads up that prices will probably change. I don't know who's going to be affected if you're grandfathered in, if you're paying already, or if it's going to change or what. But yeah, just heads up. This is what's happening with AIRA.
A good update. A great update.
Yeah, it's a great app. Like, it's a great service. It's definitely wonderful. I understand why they're doing this, because again, it's like if most of their calls are getting are free calls and they're not making money on it, like, no, they have to pay the people. They have to pay to maintain the app. I think they're also doing it's no longer going to. I think it's going to be like a web-based type of app, but they're going to make sure it's fully accessible, because they want to be able to deploy this everywhere and not have to do specific coding for one platform, and then for another one, and then for another one. They want to have one app that you can deploy to all multiple platforms, because they have it on the desktop now. They have it on your iPhone, Android. They have it on the Blind Shell Classic 2, I think now is also available on that. That's a sort of a blind-friendly flip phone. That I think it's based it's using Android.
Can they add one to Tesla?
I probably wouldn't be surprised if they add that one day. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But
hey, turn right. Okay, keeping the lanes.
Yeah,
well, I guess the car already kind of keeps
an
the
IRA
lanes.
agent guide you while you're driving your parents' Tesla. Yeah, sure, that'll be great. Just let me know when you drive the car so I can stay off the road and stay locked up in my house, because I don't want to be hit by you when you're driving that Tesla.
I'll be fine. No worries.
So, anyways, that's pretty much all we have tonight for the event. Again, want to say thank you for everybody for joining us tonight.
Long one.
Thanks to Sad for. Was that?
It was a great one. It was a
long one.
but a great one.
A great one. Yes, we had a lot of good content on here. I know that we're probably not going to have another episode until January. So, happy holidays to everybody. I don't know if you have any plans for the holidays yourself, or I know for us it's just going to be family gatherings, family parties, and probably a little New Year's Eve party. And other than that, it's gonna be very quiet for the holidays. But you big plans for you for the holidays, or?
Except the birthday. That's about it.
Well, that sounds kind of fun. But anyways,
it'll be a fun one though, because it's my brother's
birthday. Yeah,
brother's 18th birthday actually.
Wow, 18. Wow. Almost legal.
Yeah, and
but one more year will be legal in Ontario. To all of our audience, just want to wish you guys a wonderful, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Stay safe. Spend time with family and friends. Enjoy your time. And have a wonderful holidays. Again, if you guys want to reach us, you can reach us via email at eyebytespodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is eyebytes podcast@gmail.com. You can also...
those of you who have questions for us, email
questions.
us. And if you want to answer my questions...
Yeah, please. Send us emails. We don't get that many emails from anybody, which kind of, it's like, I hear Double Tap Canada. I'm like, I know I'm not competing against them. I'm like, they get lots of emails and calls, and we don't get nothing. I'm like, please, just some people. Be nice if we get some emails from fans. Be nice.
I think we just provide so much information in our podcast. They don't need to send us emails.
Yeah, you want to say hi. Say, hey, how's it going? I'm a big fan. Or leave us a review. Go to the Apple Podcast awesome. And leave us a 5-star review or whatever if you like it. If you want to give us feedback as well.
Twitter.
If we suck completely or if we rock, I don't know, whatever. Let us know.
Follow us on Twitter.
What's that?
That's to follow us on Twitter.
Oh yeah, well, geez, give me a chance. I'm getting to that. Jeez.
My bad.
If you can also follow us on Twitter. You can find us at eyeBytespodcast. I'm not sure if we're going to do a Mastodon account or not.
I should. I don't know. Why not? We'll see.
Maybe one day.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Check out the website www.eyebytes.ca. I know it's actually not as accessible, but it's still live. I'm not touching this one. I'm still working on a new one through WordPress. This one is still live.
I told you it needs some work.
No, I know. I did know in the beginning when I published it that I did needed some work because the thing that I'm using wasn't as accessible. There's everything. There's no H1s. It's only H2s throughout the
we have
website.
a friend, a mutual friend of ours, which I don't want to say her name, but she's an accessibility web expert, and she did say she was going to look at our website. So you may want to reach out to her once you've got the site all done, and she'll do she said she'd do it for us out of the kindness of her heart to do the accessibility review and see if we're failing with the WCAG guidelines and where we're doing, where we rock. So you may want to let her know once the site's done so she can take a look at it.
Okay. And also, guys, check out the YouTube page at eyeBytes
podcast.
And again, I've uploaded all the podcasts there as well, only audio versions. And I'm planning to upload more because it's the holidays. I'm more free, and things will be happening a lot more on this eyeBytes account. So yeah,
you're responsible for that one. I don't touch the YouTube channel.
I know. I've said that a long time ago. That now that I'm free, no school stress, it's going to happen. Yeah.
But
and no one actually told me so. By the way, no one told me to buy a Pixel. Yay!
See, we need people to email us so you can tell him to buy more stuff. It'd be nice. It's I actually have a friend of mine who said he bought a Pixel 7 Pro and he loves it. So
that's good.
It's like, but yeah. Anyways, we'll continue. We'll finish this off before we continue talking. But yeah. So again, you can reach us via email, eyebytespodcast@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at eyebytespodcast. Our website www.eyebytes. Is it eyebytes podcast or is it eyebytes?
eyeBytes. Which one? YouTube?
No, the website.
Website is eyeBytes Podcast.
Okay, so yeah, you go www.eyebytespodcast.ca or .com, I think. .ca, right?
.ca.
And you got YouTube at eyeBytes Podcast. So yeah, check us out, all that. Again, send us emails, comments, reviews, feedbacks, whatever. We'd love to hear from you. We'd like to know we have some fans. But yeah, thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, by the way, we did get one form submitted through the website.
Yeah, our friend of ours,
from Shane.
But that doesn't really count. It's just like...
He was just saying hi. That's all.
Yeah,
which is good.
much, yeah.
Thank you.
You can go on the website too. You can go submit us an email through the website as well. There's a contact us section there. But yeah, reach us you can reach us any way you want. We're available as much as possible everywhere we can. So, but yeah, thank you.
It's actually eyebytes.ca, not eyebytespodcast.ca. It's eyebytes.ca.
Really? That was eyebytes podcast.
So far, it's .ca.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, you can find us all the information in the show notes. We have all the email, the website, the Twitter handle, and the YouTube channel. But yeah, just check us out on all of our social media. And yeah, thanks again, Saj, for joining us. It was fun. And yeah, everybody have happy holidays, and we'll see you guys in January.
Take care.
Bye.